Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are gonna do like a speed round of an unhaul. There are two reasons that I'm unhauling. The first two stacks are books that I have read. I either liked but didn't like enough to keep them, or I didn't really like them as much as I thought I would. That would be these two stacks. Then the other four stacks over here are books that were on my TBR, and then I did this video where I read the first chapter of the like top 100 books I want to read that I own physically, and I got rid of a lot of books in that video. And then I have like 3 DNFs. So let's start with the DNFs. There's Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. I should not have bought another paperback of this thinking that I was gonna read it for the reading horror books. I'm doing this video series on my channel where I read 101 horror novels that are recommended before you get murdered. It's a fun concept, and I'm like trudging through. I'm not sure if horror novels are for me, but I definitely shouldn't have bought this again. I've already attempted to read this when it first came out, and when Gabby started talking about it on her channel, but I'm not interested. It's about a bunch of writers that stay at this haunted house over Halloween night, and it's kind of like a competition, but I didn't like it. Then Rosalie Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. I was trying to read this in one of my reading vlogs. If I can find it, I'll link it. I didn't like it, so I DNF'd it like 80 pages in. I don't know. I know it's part 2, but I don't... Oh. Okay. 79 pages in, about 80 pages. This one's kind of embarrassing because she's small. This is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I just did not jive well with the writing, so I'm not gonna finish it. Alright, these two stacks are books that I've read, and I just don't like them. So all of these books are gonna be up on Pango. I always have Pango linked down below, so if you're interested in any of these books, you can go check my Pango books out. The first one we have is Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. It's such a shame that I didn't like this haunted house book because it's beautiful. That is such a stunning cover, but I didn't like it, so why keep it? Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosmino. I really, really enjoyed this book. And then I read the second book in the series, and it's just like pure fun shenanigans, and I didn't like the second one as much as I liked the first one, and I really had a lot of fun with the first Finley Donovan with this one. With that being said, it's more of like a cozy, funny mystery. I'm not really a cozy mystery girly, and I will never reread this, and I'm definitely not going to continue on with the series. So it's time to say goodbye. Then I read Makeup Breakup by Lily Menon a while ago. This is a perfectly fine romance between two rival tech companies, like the founders of the tech companies, and It's cute. I think I gave it like 3 stars. It's fine. It's just, if I'm gonna reread a romance, it's not gonna be one that I feel like is fine. I'm gonna reread one that I actually like really enjoyed. And it's not bad, I just didn't love it. And on that same note, I also have A Spot of Trouble by Terry Wilson. It's fine. It's another like fun romance, but I thought it was fine, you know? Like, really, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't see myself rereading them. In February, I think in February, I read Privacy by Nina Sadowski because I got hubby pick and he picked this. I didn't like it. I gave it 1 star. I did finish it, but I didn't like it. Then One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just have too many copies of this. This is my 2nd copy. I don't need 2 copies. So. Then I read Jaws by Peter Benchley, and very, very underwhelming. It was fine. I think I give it 2 stars, but I don't know. I was just expecting more. I do still really want to watch the movie, see how they compare. But I was very underwhelmed with that book. Then I read The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, and again, this like a haunted house, like horror novel. Again, I'm starting to think that horror novels are not for me. I just didn't personally love it, but I know that many people love it. I have read The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. It was fine. Again, like a 3-star read. I just don't need it. Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austen. Such a disappointment. Have read it. Most of these I feel like I've read. Yeah, I have. Illuminae. The Illuminae Files by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I don't know who I was kidding. I'm not a young adult reader anymore. This is young adult. It's sci-fi. Not for me. It was fine. The writing was fine. It was, I think I gave it 2 stars, but it's just young adult sci-fi. No thank you. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This one was not terrible. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was good. I'm just never gonna reread it. And for me, it was a little bit underwhelming again, because I've heard such amazing things about this book, and I don't know, it didn't hit as much for me as everyone else seems to make it seem like it does. Oh my gosh, this was supposed to be like a real quick video, but I think I lied. Then I have Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I'm just gonna watch the movie if I want to experience this book again. The movie is a really great adaptation of that book. The book was fine. It's just really chunky. It's young adult. It's not something that I need anymore. What Happened That Night by Sandra Block. This was a perfectly good thriller. I think I give it 3 or 4 stars. This follows this woman named Delilah, who is a journalist, or no, she's a paralegal. And she was attacked at a party like 5 years before that when she was in college. And now randomly this video of her being attacked surfaces. Trigger warnings. Like all the trigger warnings. It was dark, but it was good. Like I said, I think I gave it 4 stars. I just don't think I'm gonna reread it. Then The Safest Lies by The Safest Lies by Megan Miranda. She used to be like a comfort author for me. This was fine. I gave it like, I didn't love this one as much as the rest of her books. I think this one was like a 2 star. I don't really like young adult books though, and this is yet another young adult book. The Replacement Wife by Darby Kane. You know, this one was fine. I gave it 4 stars. It was enjoyable, but I just keep comparing all of her books to Pretty Little Wife, and Pretty Little Wife is such a good thriller. I love that thriller. This one is like a domestic thriller about this woman, Eliza, who thinks that her brother-in-law is killing women. So it's intriguing. I just don't need to keep it on my shelves. I don't need to reread it. Then there's The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. I think that this is a fantastic book. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. Very enjoyable. However, check the trigger warnings on this, because there was some triggering content in here that I was not expecting, and I went into this book thinking that it was just like, it's got a pink cover, it's very pretty, and I thought that it was just like a low stakes happy-go-lucky romance, and I was in the mood for just like, I had been reading a lot of triggering things and a lot of thrillers when I picked this up, and I would still highly recommend this book. I just don't want to keep it, and I'm not going to continue with the series knowing what content is in it now. Not that I've never read that content before, but I just wasn't expecting it, so it did hinder my reading for this particular book. But if I would have known that it wasn't like a happy-go-lucky romance, I would have enjoyed it more. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I then read Unqualified by Anna Faris. This was fine. I don't rate nonfiction anyway, but it kind of felt like self-helpy, but she kept saying, I'm unqualified to give you this advice, but here it is anyway. And like, it was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't for me. Then I read The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. This is not at all what I was expecting, and I just didn't like it. Then I read A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is Athena and Persephone and Hades. Persephone and Hades. Why did I think Athena? Persephone and Hades retelling, but like, make it smutty. I just don't think that I like smutty books. Like, I like romance that have those scenes in them, but primarily like just smutty books. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it's like, yeah, I just didn't care for it. Wasn't my taste. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I got this for Christmas, and I put all the books that I got for Christmas on my like need to read list for 2024. I had already read this, and like, it's fine, but I'm not going to continue on with the series. See, I read the first one and the second one. I'm not interested in the third one at all. At this point, I think that it's just a cash grab. This one was fun. I really, really enjoyed it the first time that I read it. Now I'm just over it. I think it's overhyped. Then there's The Last Invitation by Darby Kane. Again, this one is a locked room mystery. There are too many characters. So I think you follow from 2 main characters, like Gabby and Eliza. Gabby and, let's see, what's the other girls? Jessa. And their stories are so shockingly similar. Like, they are not different at all. Their character traits are the same. They are the same person, but they're not the same person. And it's like carbon copied. And it just wasn't executed very well. Then I read my first historical romance. I read Always Be My Duchess by Amelia Howard. I actually really did like this book. I just won't reread it. I think I give it 4 stars though. Like, it's enjoyable. It's like a rom-com but historical fiction, and I had fun with it. I just won't reread it. Again, I had fun with He Started It by Samantha Downing, which is like this inheritance road trip, nightmare road trip. It was great. I did really enjoy this one. I just won't reread it. It is nightmare fuel though. Then The Taming of the Shrew by Shakespeare, whatever. By Any Other Name by Lauren Kate. I thought this was average. Okay, this one I really loved. Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar. It's like a slasher teen flick, but in book form, and like clowns are trying to kill you. It was fun. I loved the first one. Then the second one came out, and I think there might be a third one coming out. At this point, I'm so over it because, like, this could have been a standalone. If this was a standalone, I would have freaking loved it. I do love it as standalone, but I don't care for it as a series. And for that reason, I'm unhauling it. Then The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain. This is the first Diane Chamberlain that I've read, and I loved this. I think I gave it 5 stars. It was so enjoyable. It's like a slow simmering mystery. It's a family mystery that follows this girl named Riley who as she's getting older, she's kind of learning more about like her sister and what happened with her sister, and it's just kind of like, well, I don't believe my parents are like that anymore. Maybe were they when Riley was around, or when her sister, I don't remember her sister's name, Lisa was around, or what's going on, and she digs deep into the mystery of what happened to her sister. It was a great payoff. It was just a lot of fun. I think I give it 4 stars. I'm just never gonna reread it because I already know all the twists. So I want someone else to be able to enjoy this. The rest of these are ones that I read the first chapter of and didn't jive with, except for The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I started reading this in June, and when I finally officially DNF'd it, I was like 70 pages into it, so I'm just never gonna read it. The rest of these, I read the first chapter in this reading vlog, I think, and I didn't jive with it, so I'm just gonna be unhauling them. So there's Firefly. Oh, this one I actually DNF'd. I'm sorry. Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I don't like. I'm just not gonna read anything else from Kristen Hanna. I don't think she's an author for me. Oh, and the Book of Accidents. I'll link the vlog of me reading this one as well, but I am unhauling it. Now I'm pretty sure the rest are just ones that I read the first chapter and didn't jive with. So, The Hidden by Melanie Golding. Night Film by Marissa Peschel. Oh, I read The Call of the Wild and it was fine. I am gonna listen to White Fang when I read it. I have it on audiobook, so someone else can enjoy that. About That Fling by Tanya Fensk. The Little Lady Agency by Hester Brown. The Long Walk by Stephen King. Vala's Fair by Hannah Capin. This one's also an ARC. Then Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. Karma Girl by Jennifer Estep. Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. The Surgeon by Leslie Wolfe. The Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. Just Enough Luck by Aspen Hadley. Wait for It by Jen McKinley. The Last Letter for Your Lover by Jojo Moyes. I don't think she's an author for me, and that's okay. The Red Thread by Anne Hood. Where the Truth Lies by Anna Bailey. The Daughters of Foxcote Manor by Eve Chase. The Darkest Web by Kirsten Wright. The Last Guest by J.P. Pomeroy. Three Perfect Liars by Heidi Perks. A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. I Was Here by Gail Foreman. White Orlander by Janet Finch. Dead in Gondola by Anne Clare. The Rewind by Allison Wynne Scotch. People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. The Sweetest Remedy by Jane Ergargo. Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. The Last Love Note by Emma Gray. The Half Moon by Mary Beth Keenan. The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy. A Lady's Guide to Selling Out by Sally Franson. The Last Time I Saw You by Liv Constantine. Normal by Graham Cameron. Julius Caesar and Othello, both by Shakespeare. I'm just not in my Shakespeare era, and I need to stop pretending. The Woman in the Library by Hilary Gentle. The Woman in the Library by this author. Killer Content by Olivia Blake. Backlash by Sarah Dar Littman, and Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. I also didn't realize this was young adult, but If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan is a young adult romance. I do not read young adult generally. It's not a rule, I just never enjoy them, so maybe it kind of is a rule. Silence for the Dead by Simone St. James. I feel bad because I just got this, and like I kind of want to read it still, but I didn't like the first chapter. Then The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek and The Bookwoman's Daughter by Kim Mitchell Richardson. I bought these because my mother-in-law recommended them to me a couple years ago, and I don't know, it stuck with me, but I'm not interested. Then there's The Edge of Sleep. And, oh, this one I did read though, so it should be in the other pile, but it's The Ancestor by Danielle Truzany. I did not like this haunted house story. Like I said, I'm starting to think that I don't like horror novels. Anyways, that was supposed to be super fast forward. I'm not sure how fast forward that was, but those are all up on Pango. These are all the books that I'm unhauling. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh!